Gervonta Tank Davis's upcoming opponent, Hector Luis Garcia, his team speaks out and they compare their fighter, Hector Luis Garcia, versus the other Garcia, Ryan Garcia. That's what I want to talk about in this video. Stay tuned. Let's talk about it. What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I am back with some more boxing. You know, I had to come with the good stuff. SLC, subscribe, like, and comment. Now, Hector Luis Garcia, his trainer, did an interview. For obvious reasons, upcoming fight, Gervonta took to his social media, announced he's fighting Hector Luis Garcia January 7th in DC. Now, for those that don't know, I've told you this is a great fight. Even though Garcia is moving from 130, where he's a champion, fighting at Gervonta Davis's weight of 135, where he's been fighting, this is still a dangerous out. And I think Team Garcia said a lot of good things, and they even compared to Ryan Garcia, which is why I felt compelled to make this video. It's definitely a fight I'm looking forward to. So, my opinion, Hector Luis Garcia is dangerous because I watched him fight. You know, I watched his last fight. I watched his fight most famously with Chris Colbert, Primetime Colbert, and he looked good. He dropped him. And something that some people don't know, he's listed at 5'8", 5'9" tall. And we all know Tank Davis is not the tallest fighter. But it's not just about heights. But when you're fighting someone, this is why the fight's dangerous, because I wouldn't really say the fight's dangerous as much if Hector Luis Garcia was a mindless brawler. Like if he just came to like bash you up, one-dimensional, but he can fight and he can actually box. So when you have boxing ability and intangibles, plus you have just overall skills and fundamentals and power, then yeah, that's definitely a different proposition, you know, because there's a lot of guys who they're taller, but they don't fight tall. Guys like Robert Easter and Paul Williams come to mind, where they're pretty tall exceptionally tall for their divisions, but they didn't necessarily fight tall. So Hector Garcia, Luis Garcia, he's an Olympian. That's what some people don't know. He's an Olympian, and he can fight, and he can box a bit, and I'm sure he can fight, you know, just different ways. He's an Olympian. When you fight as an Olympian, you experience the different styles. You usually don't make it all the way to the Olympics without having any level of skill. You know, I don't know anybody that has made it that has actually, they must have some type of difficulty in their style to make it that far, you know. And I don't want to get into technicalities. Different places like Australia, it might be easier to get on the Olympic team than in Cuba or Ukraine or the US or wherever, you know, Mexico. But nonetheless, you got to give him props. Hector Luis Garcia is also part of the resurgence of Dominican fighters. You're seeing a lot of Dominican fighters, and they about that action, they about that life. Recently, El Rayo was defeated by a guy named Edwin De Los Santos. You had Chris Colbert, who looked impressive in a lot of his fights and was a champion, and he gets beat by Hector Luis Garcia. You got Carlos Adames, who's been tearing up stuff. He actually stopped Fernando Montiel, and he did it quicker and actually stopped him, whereas Jamal Charlo hurt him and nearly stopped him, but couldn't actually stop him. So you're seeing this reemergence of Dominican fighters all at once, all with these star-making performances. Now, let me get into what Santos said, who is the trainer of Hector Luis Garcia. I thought in his interview he was keeping it real, and although they share the same last name, Garcia, he's saying no disrespect, and I'm just paraphrasing, no disrespect to Ryan Garcia, but he says, has Ryan Garcia actually fought anybody the likes of a Chris Colbert and beaten him? And then he also said, you could say Luke Campbell was maybe his best name that he fought, and he says that he firmly believes that Chris Primetime Colbert would beat Luke Campbell. So he's definitely higher up on his fighter's best win, which is at this point Chris Colbert. I like this. You know, I like this. Gervonta Davis is owed a lot of credit. He's definitely a beast because he has to have an insane belief in his ability to put a major fight in potential jeopardy by fighting this guy, Hector Luis Garcia, where there's more for Hector Garcia to gain than really Tank Davis, you know? And I'm not saying he won't gain anything. I'm not trying to set and sabotage Tank Davis. But the bottom line that I'm getting at is some fighters, if they don't have the heart and skill and the belief of a Gervonta Davis, they're not going to take a super dangerous opponent. And some would even say Hector Luis Garcia is more dangerous than Ryan Garcia, albeit they both have their own strengths and weaknesses, and they have their own styles and their own dangers. But for Tank to fight two back-to-back Garcias that could be difficult fights, or at least on paper difficult fights, he's owed a lot of credit, especially when the first guy is an Olympian and he's a champion in his previous weight class. Tank Davis came from that same weight class too. So Tank is not the biggest dude. We know that. It's not like Gervonta Davis is coming down like he had one fight at 140, but he can clearly, when he's disciplined and whatnot, he's in the 130, 135 range. And you look at his last fight, the weigh-in, one of his last couple of fights, he was pretty light, you know, so he shows he can still make the weight. It's a matter of his nutrition and, you know, just being tapped in. So I'm looking forward to a good fight. He's fighting an Olympian, and I like what Santos is saying about his fighter. He's basically saying, don't overlook my guy. My guy beat Chris Colbert, and he's a certified champion, and we're coming to play spoiler. So props to Hector and props to Gervonta Davis. Really looking forward to this fight. Again, you got to give Tank Davis a lot of credit for, a lot of people would take a can. I mean, a lot of people, whether they have a big fight lined up or not, you see that in boxing where some guys, they're not risking their O. They're not really willing to fight someone that has stylistic potential to beat them. So I'm really looking forward to this fight. It's the turn of the new year, and boxing has crazy storylines where you look too far ahead in the future and it may or may not spell trouble. So looking forward to a fight. Tank Davis, the Savage, Hector Luis Garcia, followed him as well. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think of Hector's team and their recent comments. Drop your thoughts in the comment section. As always, hate, comment, and subscribe. I'm the best in the business, and y'all already knew that. And I'm introducing Super Thanks right here on the official Boxingego YouTube. Super Thanks allows you, the viewers, to show a little bit of extra gratitude, which enables me as a full-time content creator to push out the content you need in the world of boxing. Underneath all the videos, you will see a heart with the $sign in it. You can enter any amount that you find suitable as a super thanks. A brand new, interactive, and colorful way to get your comments highlighted and noticed by not only myself, but other people on the YouTube platform. Super thanks, a unique and cool way to show and applaud us full-time content creators. Hopefully you guys enjoy the content. Super thanks. The future is now. The Hibernation 5s by Kenichi Bear. Hybrid gaming and lifestyle headphones. Out of the box, you can connect to any console or PC. Bluetooth ready with a low latency USB adapter, color RGB, and extreme bass mode. The Hibernation 5s adjust to you. Whether you need a gaming, travel, gym, or lifestyle headphones, the Hibernations got you covered. The new Hibernation 5s, link in the description. Customize the way you hear the world. Welcome to the nation. Are you tired of your YouTube videos not getting any views? Well, consider TubeBuddy. I've used TubeBuddy for years to scale up my YouTube channel. Now we're sitting over 200,000 subscribers. TubeBuddy is a browser extension that offers a ton of built-in productivity and time-saving services to take your channel to the next level. Use my link in the description to get started with TubeBuddy and level up your channel faster. We working.